I've been living in Kyoto since 1993. Tokyo's like any big city in the world. I compare it to Los Angeles maybe in the United States because nobody's from there. It's just money, 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 money. New York is kind of like Osaka. Good food, people in your face. But New York's a little bit more stylish and, up end. Kyoto I consider kind of like a city like Boston or Paris. A little snobby, they have history, very proud people. Kyoto is the culture capital of Japan, but for a city of only 1.5 million people, it has 50 million visitors a year, albeit 49 million Japanese visitors, 600,000 Asian visitors, and 400,000 Western visitors. So with 1,600 temples, 400 shrines, 17 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, this is Mecca for the Japanese culture. There's been a little bit more interest in Japan, and Japan has put a very big effort into promoting Japan. However, the Japanese government are very terrible at promoting Japan. They promote geisha, samurai, Mount Fuji, ninja, They promote a lot of things that they think foreigners want to hear about. Before I came to Japan, there was no internet, so I came with a very, very limited knowledge about Japan. So everything was new. But now people come to Japan, I've seen Petri's documentary on people living in Japan. I've seen all kinds of things on Japan. So they come over more knowledgeable. But the Japanese the government, they think we're all idiots. If you want to learn traditional dance, flower arrangement, calligraphy, all the traditional arts, very expensive. You want to learn hip-hop dancing, it's much cheaper. And there's not like a pyramid system where you have the head master of this school and here's schools and it just goes down like a big pyramid. So it's Japanese culture is intimidating to younger Japanese. You have kimono, you have annual dance recitals. So the young generation are, they're appreciative of the traditional culture, but it scares them. They don't know about it. It's hard to understand. Someone just walked by, the young Japanese girls, and they're going to an old traditional Japanese house, and the first word they said when they walked in was, "Oh, so amazing," because they don't even live in Japanese houses anymore. They live in these apartment complexes with no traditional tatami mats, straw mats. So they sit in seats. They don't sit on the floor anymore. If you have a traditional house, you usually have maybe one room with the traditional tatami mats. That's so that if an older person comes in who likes to sit on the floor, they have one room for them. But in the apartment complex, it's always table, and maybe if it's a younger family, they have children, they sit on the little table on the floor and with the big cupboard, the kotatsu, where it warms them up. They put their legs under the table and the heat comes down. So it's, but it's done modern style, and that's when usually only when they have kids. A lot of people don't have plants in their house because there's not many windows, and when the house is right next to each other, you don't have fun, and they don't have gardens. So, for example, over here, if you look over here, this is the garden. That's the person's garden, just right on the street in front of their house. There's a lot of drinking in society. I believe I can attest to that. And they become very silly. But I'll take silly anytime over violence. And that's, they come up and they touch my belly, things that you would never do in the West or you get beat up. Oh, you have a big nose. They're not trying to be rude, they just, no conversation. That's why they have bars where people can go and you pay to talk to them. It's not psychotherapy, it's just someone who's going to laugh at your stupid jokes and things. Anywhere from maids in cafes to hostesses to the geisha world. There's no deep conversations. You know, maybe in the States, everyone, or in North America, people talk too much deep conversation and everything becomes a debate and everyone has an opinion. I teach at high schools, I teach at universities, I give lectures all around Japan with Japanese audiences, and when it's question time, no one really, you know, they're not used to asking questions, so they don't ask questions about their government, they don't ask questions about anything. Shiranu ga hotoke, ignorance is bliss. And yeah, and I understand that, you know, if you don't think about anything bad, then you can be happy all day. North American society is a society of blame, not shame. So, for example, just kind of an over-exaggerated example, if you're walking down and you tripped over somebody's baby's toy and you hurt yourself, I'm going to sue them. But in Japan, if you did the same thing, you tripped over somebody's baby's toy, you'd like, I hope nobody saw that, I'm embarrassed. So, you know, when I was a kid, we used to throw eggs at cars, you know, we were kind of bad boys. And there was peer pressure to do that. Your friends would, come on, throw the egg, throw the egg. But in Japan, it's like, no, don't throw the egg, don't throw the egg. You'll embarrass yourself, you'll embarrass your family, you'll embarrass everyone. So it's more about the communal, how you look to everyone else. That's why they dress so well. Appearance is very important here. And so is this, what they like to call omotenashi, which is for the customer, all this great service. And that used to be around, and it's still around in many places, but it's not around in every place. Nobody thinks outside the box in Japan. There's so many big chain restaurants, just like going on in North America, that there's no, you know, there's a manual. They give you a manual. You must say this. You must do this. Nobody listens. It's all, they're becoming, you know, everyone's worried about Japanese building robots to take care of people, but the people are becoming the robots. They don't need to build the robots anymore. So Westerners are, you know, they still think it's an expensive country, even though it's not. These young kids are just walking home alone. Well, I don't know, 3, but they're like 6, 7, 8 years old. You see 5, 6, 7-year-old kids walking home. In North America, you get arrested for letting your kid walk home alone. So, you know, these are the wonderful things I love about Japan. You know, you still have old neighborhoods. I mean, some of the big cities like in Brooklyn and, you know, parts of Staten Island and New York, and, you know, you still have the neighborhood. Everyone knows everyone from the neighborhood. And Kyoto's definitely like that. And I like being part of the neighborhood. I go to the same restaurant almost every day.
特技が格闘技のお姉さん。